wanted to come out and actually see the site of the assassination attempt against President Trump. It is so clear that there were critical failures in security here. This is not a large area. The buildings are very close together. What we need for us and for the American people are answers, because number one, we need to be sure that there's accountability for these critical security failures, and number two, we need to be sure that this never happens again.
Yes, but it did, sadly, on Saturday. That was Florida Congressman Laurel Lee, who was one of just 13 members of Congress on a task force that investigated what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. Congresswoman, it's nice to have you with us. So you were one of the few to investigate Butler. I've still got so many questions about what happened that day almost 2 years ago. Look, we've got the World Cup coming up. We've got America 250 celebrations coming up, the midterms. Donald Trump plans to be front-facing at all of these events. He should have the opportunity to be. How do we keep this man safe?
Well, you make such an important point in that we have to bear in mind it isn't just this time. This is now the latest in a series of tragic events and that we have to be prepared to meet. One of the things that we have to consider is, have we learned from these incidents? Is the Secret Service at a place now that they're able to collaborate and to work cohesively with the local law enforcement, or on Saturday, the Capitol Police? Was there the cohesion that was necessary? You raised a really important point about people that are in the perimeter, that are nearby. How are they being screened? Are their bags being checked? And quite frankly, part of what we're seeing here is that it really makes the president's point about how vital it is to have a ballroom and a secure space at the White House where he can be doing events like this with his cabinet and with other world leaders. But absolutely, there needs to be a thorough and complete preparation for any public event. It doesn't just keep the president safe, it protects the public. It protects the people who are there to watch and the families who are there to be part of these events too, who also are at grave risk when these types of predators emerge.
Yeah, we're going through, it feels like the late 1960s. People of a certain age will remember that. Started with JFK in 1963, then it was MLK, and then it was RFK in 1968. It feels like that. So the security around the president, I think, should reflect that. Look, in Butler, one of the findings from your committee was they didn't have the bulletproof glass in front of them because it costs a lot of money to do that. Are we at the point now where Congress needs to propose legislation to fund glass in front of Donald Trump everywhere he is, whether it's the Correspondents' Dinner in front of him on that dais, whether he's making a speech in a place like Butler, or he's on the campaign trail for members who are running for re-election like yourself in November? Is this something that needs to be addressed? Heaven forbid one of these shooters break through. They don't have a chance to hit him because there's glass protecting him.
Well, our responsibility as Congress is to make sure that we stand ready to fund whatever personnel or resources the president and his security team feel are necessary to keep him safe. So that could be glass, that could be adding personnel to his detail, it could be additional equipment or training or officers. But we as Congress have a responsibility to make sure that we are funding those positions and that equipment. And of course, as you know, right now, Democrats in Congress have been preventing us from doing that very thing. House Republicans, again and again and again, have worked to fund the Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah.
Democrats stand in the way over their policy interpretation, which we see there could be no more grave example of why this matters and why it's vital for them to come above their partisan politicking and do the right thing to keep the president and our country safe.
Yeah, Congresswoman Laurel Lee, we appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you. Nice to see you. All right, I will